good afternoon, good evening, and good night, whatever it is, wherever you're from. I know it's been a little while since I did one of these. I did just compete in the Momocon Regional, where I just barely missed top 32. So I figured I'd bring you the deck that I played there, which was the Cooler Unison deck. Most everybody knows what the deck does, but just real quick, uh, auto when you swing, you have to take a life, and then you can either play one drop Unison or draw a card. Uh, Once per turn, when Unison goes to the drop, you draw a card. When you're at 4 or less, untap one, draw one. On the back, when it attacks, draw a card, and then you can draw a card or play Unison. You no longer have to take life. Once per turn, Unison goes to the drop, draw a card. Activate battle, you can discard a Unison to give your leader or a Unison plus 5k for the battle. So I thought the deck was really good against a lot of what was going on. Even better now that the ban list hit. I think it's going to be really good then. But for the most part, I thought that it was a good choice. Maybe, a little bit rogue, obviously, because it's green, but, that is what it is. But it did fairly well. I went 5-2 overall. I made one mistake in one round where I started pushing in, and I just kind of glanced over and kind of looked at the way my opponent's life was sitting, and I thought I saw one, and then I went to swing and comboed in, and he pulled it away, and I realized there was two there. So that was my mistake. Maybe it was nerves, what have you, but it was my screw up. I accepted it. It's all good. But the way I played it is I played 3 of the Demigras. And he's really good as a starter, but maybe later on if they, black smoke or just decide to attack on your unison, it's good to come back later. But in the early turns, being able to use him to make sure that one unison doesn't die and you can self-awaken fast if you really want to. Which most of the decks that I played against were aggressive enough that I had no problem awakening exactly when I was ready to awaken. I play 3 of the Dore, Cooler's Armor Squadron. He's good. And Power 2, when he comes in, you can search for one drop Cooler. Because of the aggressiveness of the meta, I didn't feel like he was absolutely necessary, because I feel like he's only really necessary if you're trying to get the one drops out because you need to self-awaken. But where I don't think you do, because of the nature of the meta as it is. Maybe once it shifts, if it slows down a little bit, I might change these numbers up. But he's also good because, he's one of the 15k attackers. There's a couple in here that aren't, so that it's kind of rough there. But he's good just at 3, just have the extra unison to make sure that I see my unisons every turn like I'm supposed to. And he's a 15k attacker. 4, obvious auto 4 on the Frieza Galactic Dynasty. Power 3, when it comes in with 3, your opponent discards a card, and he's a 20k attacker. Being able to push into those blue players when they play their beans and stuff like that, and just knowing that, if your opponent's leader, so many Z leaders now are just base 20k, so it makes it really hard to swing into them if you're swinging a bunch of 15ks, which is what this deck wants to do. So that makes Frieza a really key piece. And just the little bits of incremental hand control really help out. So that's if they discard a card and then you swing it, if they want to not take the life, that's 2 cards you get out of their hand that turn. Or 3 cards you get out of hand that turn. Don't listen to me, I can't, man. I played 4 of the Cruel Commander. When he comes in, you get to Z-charge something from your drop, and he gets dual attack for the turn, and you burst one. Actually, I got really lucky with a burst, all day. I never bursted anything that was really bad, like SCR or anything crazy like that. The one thing is I did play against red 4 out of my 7 rounds. I played against Sin 3 times, and SS4 once. And then I played 2 matches against Trunks Judah, 1 against Cumber. But the one thing that did me really well against those is Salsa. Because it's essentially just a charismatic that you can actually attack with, and it doesn't stop you from playing counterplays for the rest of the turn. So there was, in those games, my opening hand was, a Salsa and a charismatic, which meant whatever first 2 battle cards they played, I was going to automatically kill them, slows down their draws, slow down their whole game plan, and then I can push in and just start taking control of the game on turn 2. I've actually was thinking about it after this weekend. If it wasn't for the ban list, I thought about, this should maybe have been a 4 of, but because the ban list going down, I'm going to leave it 3 for now, see how it tests out. I was playing 2 of the Nez. Nez is pretty good. because of the fact that you can stop 2 attacks, negate the attack, and then choose another card and it can't attack for the turn. The only downside is that it's only it's a 4K that goes up by 6, so it's only a 10K attacker. But if somebody does get your Unison down and you really need to, like once my opponent just, I guess out of anger, decided to start attacking into my Unison and got me down to 1, I was able to play this to empower and then roll it up to 2 and then start getting my stuff back online immediately. I played one of the Urine Crane School Witchcraft Master. She's in power 4. If it comes in with 5 or more markers on it, you can KO one of your opponent's battle cards, which is pretty decent. She's also roll up 2, choose one of your battle cards, and if it costs 2 or less, he gets 5,000 power for the turn. Not really relevant because I don't really play, a ton of 2 cost or less battle cards. Like most of the ones that I play are a lot bigger. But I wanted to play it, one, because being able to just selectively KO stuff and control the board a little bit better. And then the -4, choose one of your leaders and he gets +5K and double strike for the turn. I actually ended up sideboarding this out against most decks because I felt like it was a little too slow. So I probably may cut that completely, but it just depends on how things shake up. Like, it's a decent card, but I don't know if it's going to be main board decent anymore. I played 3 of the Golden Frieza, which, it's really good. Being able to come in, KO the board, especially like on most of my turns where I would wait and awaken on turn 3. So I go into my turn 3, play Golden Frieza, do my 2 swings, awaken, and then swing with leader and play another Unison and just keep on attacking. So that game plan was pretty good. But just having him as a finisher and just the extra copies in there, you could probably argue that he only needs to be at 2, but I really, really like seeing him. Plus, several of my opponents, like, I would charge one of these copies on turn 1 or turn 2, and they just told me, like, I just assumed that you only had like 1 or 2 in there, so I just wasn't worried about it anymore. For the battle cards, now I know this is a little bit heavier than what a lot of people play, but like I want to make sure that I see my Unisons very, very consistently, and like it went all, like the deck did fine. Like the matches that I lost, it wasn't because I didn't see Unison, it wasn't any screw up of the deck, it wasn't the deck's fault, it was one because my Trunk Sheet opponent in round 1 was on the play and had the absolute nuts. I could not stop doing anything about it. And then, the other mistake that I made, because against the Sin player, like, I had the game in the bag. Like, he had two cards in hand, and I swung thinking that he had 2 life, or he had 1 life, but he had 2. But I do play 3 of the 1-drop cooler Self-Awakeners that looks at the top 5 for Unison, 3 cost or less, which is any of those. I played 4 of the King Cold, leader of the Frieza Clan. He's really, really good. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I was running him at 2 for a little while because I underestimated how really strong he was. Then I bumped it up to 4 because I wanted to see him a whole lot more. I may go back down to 3 because there's just certain matchups where if they have a lot of barrier removal, he's not quite as good, but I think he's really good at where he's at. Being able to, if you have 3 units in the drop, which 99.9% of the time you do, you pay him for 1 20K attacker, barrier blocker, and then at the end of the turn he restands himself, and then once per turn when he activates blocker, he restands himself, and then anytime he blocks, you can combo with a 5K from the drop. So like that auto is not once per turn, so you can go dormant, block, combo up to 25, and if they don't combo into that, you can just block the next swing too, and just shuts the whole turn down. I played 3 of the Dark Temptation Toa. This is kind of left over from when I was playing a more hand controlling list, but she's still really good to be able to just come in, make him discard a card, being the leader, and most of the time, like, I wouldn't even attack with her because everybody's going into their Z leader, which is 20K. So it just gives me a way to bring this in, make my leader swing on 20K, and then combo into it, cost an extra card. A couple little 1-ofs that I was playing. I played 1 of the Sibling Cruelty. I used to have this at 4 in the old list, and then when I ended up cutting it down to 3, and then I was like, cut it down to 2, and I was like, I'll just cut it down to 1. Sometimes it's really good to just have that extra, like, 1-cost finisher that help you get through, make them discard a card, and then recycle some of your Unisons if for some reason you're getting low on them. But he's decent, 20K double striker, make him discard a card. It's not bad. I did end up siding him out in a bunch of matchups because it was stuff that I just felt was more necessary, and he's just not absolutely necessary to the game plan. Same thing here. I just wanted a few different options for finishers. So I played 1 of the Goku Spirit Bomb Unleashed. Activating them on if you have 3 more energy and a green Unison to play, you can pay 1, play it. and then choose one of your opponent's unisons and remove marker from it. And then activate main, you can Spirit Boost from a green unison specifically. And it gets plus 5k for each marker you remove, and if it's 2 or more, it gets double strike. So like one time I was able to like swing him in for like 30k double strike and do some damage to surprise my opponent. One of the cards that I think a lot of people are undervaluing right now, but like I've been playing a lot of in two of the couple of the green decks that I'm playing, but actually came in really clutch, is Brienne de Chateau. She super surprised my Trunks G opponent when they went turn 2, play Trunks, and then I went into my turn 2 and I like play Brienne, kill your Trunks, and then awaken. She's really good. And a lot of people might not like her. Like Black Smoke is a little more utility, but Black Smoke also can attack if you need her to. She's still a deflect, so like I think she's really good, but it's entirely up to you. But as far as like the playstyle I was going for, I thought she was great. Now like the MVP also like was fast becoming the best boss monster for the deck is the 2 cooler Armed Force. I was kind of glad I pulled 2 of the Shadow Foil out of the prizing, out of the participation stuff that I got there, which is really awesome. But Barrier Double Strike, when it attacks, not once per turn, you can either make your opponent discard a card or KO one of their battle cards. It's a pay 2 if you have 3 more energy and your leader's green. And if you have a Z battle card in play, once per turn you can activate, or sorry, not once per turn, limit 1, you can restand it. But it was really fun to do this and then, play out like the Frieza that makes them discard a card, and then you can like make them discard 3 cards. I played 1 of the Dodoria Bring with Power in the main, counterplay for something 2 or less. It hits most of the floodgates, stuff like that for the turn you're trying to get really aggressive. I played 2 of the Majin Buu, thwarting the enemy. Negate the attack, play this card in rest mode. You can Spirit Boost 2 to play for free instead. It's really good. Came in pretty clutch. Plus, I tried to really cut down because of the fact that a lot of like the battle card swings you can't combo your unisons into. So I wanted to make as many of my negates not be extra cards as I possibly could, so that I could still combo into like the coolers and the King Colds and the double strikers, stuff like that. I played 4 of the Paragon super combo because it's just the best green super combo. Draw 2, then warp 1. To complement the Salsa, I played 3 charismatic. It really does not need to be 4 because this deck right now has 6, so I could probably go up to a third. But like I saw these consistently, like most turns didn't go past turn 4. So like every turn on my opponent, I was like, Salsa, your first battle card you play, Frieza, charismatic, the next one you play. I only played 3 dormant because this deck is trying to go a little more like first couple turns I'm just trying to set up and like keep the board clear, maybe chip a little bit, poke, and then like on turn 3, turn 4, when I have a really good, I've had a chance to sculpt my hand, just go all in. So I didn't need the full 4 dormants, and I didn't want to see too many copies of it when it was like time to go for the kill. I wanted combo power in my hand. I play 1 homicidal clones. It's a good negate. Token negate can save you a lot, but sometimes and then having been able to combo with that if you need to, if your opponent just stops attacking. I played 1 Shocking Death Ball. Again, because it's a free negate, I tried to maximize my free negates as much as possible, and then you can take a life to do it that way. Or sometimes I just had the 1 energy up and I use it. The big thing that really surprised a lot of my opponents was the SCR that I was running was Invader's Vow. If your leader is a Frieza clan, you count the Frieza's clan, Frieza's army, and Unison cards and all your leader, energy, battle, Unison, drop, warp areas, and take that number, whatever that number is. If the battle card is that or less, you can KO it and make your opponent discard 2 cards. At least 3 of my opponents, actually it might have been 4 of my opponents, went in with their final swing, dumped their hand, and I was able to go Invader's Vow, make you discard 2, and then they're sitting there with like 1, maybe 2 cards in hand. When it was time for me on turn 4 to crack back. But the card's really underrated. I like the fact that like the incremental discard was really good. I like the discard on this. You could probably argue that the monkey is better because it ignores barrier, but most of the big boss monsters now, as far as like don't have barrier, so it's not as necessary. I don't believe. But either way, like that's a personal preference kind of thing. As far as the Z deck goes, I was playing once surmounting. Sometimes you just need to get that extra life taken away, or you just want to dig for a card. I was playing two, the Frieza Resurrect Ambition, Deflect, Double Strike. Again, KO something 5k or less when it comes into play. Really help you control the board, and then keep your coolers on. Turn your coolers online to restand, and being able to go, cooler swing, discard off cooler, discard off Frieza, and then restand. Swing your cooler again, discard another card. It was pretty good. And then for the Unison based decks, actually ended up. This is the card that I won with on I think it was round 4 against a Sin player, because I comboed out and he comboed out and had exactly enough to get over it. He had no cards in hand, I had no cards in hand, and his leader was a 20, and I had exactly 4 Z energy, so I was able to go pay 2, Jiren, go 2, go to 25, swing into your leader. You can't combo out. I played 2. The Golden Frieza, Return of the Destroyer. I actually never had a chance for this to come up while I was playing there, but a lot of times in testing, it was really, really good to be able to go, on turn 4 or something like that, just be able to pay 2 to play Golden Frieza, and then pay 2 to play the Unison, the big Golden Frieza Unison, and then KO the board, and then KO something ignoring barrier. He's pretty good. If nothing else, like, I've used it before in testing just to pay 2 to get another Double Striker if I've exhausted all my other options, just because he's naturally bigger than the other two. He comes out as a base 20k. As far as the sideboard, because this was best of 1 pre-side, I was playing 2 Shin, very obviously for the matchups that everyone imagines it's for. I played 2 Dark Fire Black Mass Sand. Again, those are, for the matchups like Android 21. That's also good against Trunks Cheetah, a lot of the yellow decks that are trying to play out, Riposte and Vegito and all that kind of crap on you. Again, for same thing, I played Koitsukai for anybody that's trying to play battle cards during my turn, do all that kind of nonsense. I have played those out. For the blue matchups that I never did see, I had the 2 Yamcha the Cunning, just to try and help slow down their game plan in case they were trying to, stop me from doing whatever it is I want to do. Because green's supposed to be able to do what it wants because it's the most overpowered color, right? I played 2 of the Kakunsa, Beastly Maiden, because it does catch a lot of people off guard. Like, they just assume that, they're going to be, they're going to swing with their big boss monster, and even if you negate the attack, it's okay because it's still there. Most of them have, activate main effects and do all kind of fun shenanigans that green can't do. But being able to, I brought this in as a 1-of in a couple matches. I'm probably going to drop it down to a 1-of in the sideboard. But, pay 2, KO something as part of the attack is pretty good. I played 2 Unexpected Turn. Good against a bunch of matchups. If your opponent has 3 or more battle cards in play that cost 2 or more, you can counterattack any card that comes in. It doesn't check energy cost, which is good. And then if they have anything 2 or less that has barrier, it can warp it. I played an extra Dodoria, just against those. If I figured against yellow that were going to play tons and tons of floodgates, I wanted to have it there. Against Android 21, and sometimes depending on the way they were playing it, Gogeta or Sin, which obviously is not going to be a problem now, but being able to counterattack and then KO some of the 4 less, it's pretty good. And then I played 1 of the SGR on the side. The main deck deals with Unisons really, really well already, so I didn't feel like I needed this in the main, but having 1 on the side just in case it was one of those decks that was really, really focused on Unison, they're going to be more inclined to protect it. So I wanted to make sure that I could get rid of the decks that I needed to get rid of it. But again, this was my deck that I played at the regional. Again, I went 5-2. Again, 2 Trunks Cheetah, 3 Sand, 1 SS4, 1 Cumber. But it was really fun. It was a lot of good times. I will probably post later the deck that I played in Team Wars. It's going to be a little weird because there's 3 cards that are not in there anymore because I borrowed them from someone so I could get the deck finished. But you guys let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you the next one.